we have to be mindful of understanding what judgment is, and when you judge, use righteous judgment. This is what Christ um, spoke to his disciples. If you're going to judge, use righteous judgment. So the judgment of God is a righteous judgment. So when you have a house and that house is spotless, and that's that's righteous judgment. This is clean. Is it dirty? Is it clean? So you judge. This is how you're able to weigh things out. Is the house clean? Is it dirty? So righteous judgment for a clean house would be, if you allow that house to become dirty, unsanitized, and you don't want to do the dishes, and you don't want to clean up or get up crumbs and stuff like that, righteous judgment would be an infestation of mice, rats, roaches, any kind of rodents that would become pests. And that is a form of righteous judgment, because you are able to see when things are in disarray and out of order, and you can do something about it, but you choose not to do it. So as you allow these things to accumulate, as you allow the filth to build up, and the dishes not being clean, the not vacuuming the floor, not making your bed, not doing the laundry, you become under righteous judgment, and you become plagued with, an infestation. And the solution to that would be in the form of repenting from that, and you would clean up, you would exterminate, you would be mindful now that, oh, I can't allow this stuff to get out of hand, because I don't want to get plagued with any kind of infestation. Another one, I can't do that. So that's how righteous judgment is applied. So God's judgment is righteous. It wouldn't be righteous for you to allow something to get disorganized, and accumulation of filth, and there not be any kind of consequences and repercussions behind that. So when we speak on behalf of God, we tend to exaggerate or over exaggerate what God's judgment would be, or how God would judge. But if you just look at what things are, you would see them for yourselves. Like on social media sites, they show a lot of animals, like in the jungles. They show you a lot of animals killing animals, and a lot of people are like people with compassion or empathy. They feel empathetic towards the animals, and then you have others that like to see that type of stuff, and then they would chime in and say that that's nature, and that's not the case. The case is that's righteous judgment. That is righteous judgment, because as God created the earth and gave man dominion over the earth, he gave him dominion over the plants and the animals. So if man doesn't want to do the works of God, and have a solution for feeding animals, whether they wild animals or because men eat animals, and they can help animals reproduce, or they could help depopulate animals. And if they do not, we waste food on a daily basis, tons of food, and that food that we waste could be used to feed other animals, like lions. Lions are carnivores. Um, Hyenas. These are beasts that stalk prey. But if they was given food on a daily basis, they would be nourished, and this is a way that they can keep them from having this violent nature. Because um, if my appetite is appeased, there's no need for me to hunt. It's the same thing with snakes. If a snake's belly is full, it doesn't hunt other beasts. And that's another thing about snakes. You never see snakes share. You never see a snake share its meal with another snake. You will never see that. But that's another story for another story. But that's the judgment of God. That's how you understand righteous judgment. Animals are killing animals because man don't want to intervene and come up with solutions for there to not be any kind of slaughter outside of it slaughtering. So it slaughters animals and animals slaughter animals without there being any kind of um, civil justice for animals. So, this is a form of righteous judgment. And another form of righteous judgment is when, Christ says that, you're the salt of the earth. And what good is salt that loses its flavor? And that would go into alignment with what good is a light that you hide under a bowl. So when people that can add flavor choose not to add flavor, then things would be tasteless. This goes along with the perversion of the church and people perverting the teachings of Christ. This goes along with that. What good is it? What good is it? So the judgment of people that pervert the teachings of Christ and that hides their light or the light of truth, or have the spirit of truth, but that choose to not speak the truth, then their judgment is darkness. That's where darkness overshadows the light, because they choose not to allow their light to shine. This is a form of righteous judgment. So when you look at the world becoming dark and we're allowing the wicked to be over there and do what they do over there, then be over there and allow them to do what they do over there, and be right in front of you and allow them to do what they do right in front of you, but you don't have any kind of say, and you are one that holds the truth or that has the light of Christ, but you don't act on behalf of Christ. This is in a line with what good is salt that loses its flavor. This is it's in a line with a light doesn't hide itself underneath a bowl, but it's put on top of a hill so you could see the light, so you could see the light shine. And that's, I'm looking at the moon over there, it's right out there. But that's what that means. That is a form of righteous judgment. If the light doesn't want to present itself, then darkness will overshadow the light. And that's a form of righteous judgment. And a lot of people that don't understand the judgment of God, we tend to speak on certain things. Like one thing that a lot of people tend to speak about is, Christ is coming back. And, when Christ is coming back, they're saying that it's immediate and it's right around the corner. But it's biblical that nobody knows the day and hour of the return, not the angels, not even Christ himself, but only God knows when the return of Christ. So when people tend to overstep the boundaries and misrepresent God, that's kind of offensive to God. And falsehood is something that God isn't really keen of. God isn't fond of falsehood. And another thing is that people allow people to mock Christ. We have this rap artist going around with crown of thorns on his head, and not one Christian step to him. Not one Christian stepped to him like, yo, you got to take that off. You're making a mockery of Christ. They made that crown of thorns to mock Christ, and because no one speaks on it, the judgment is people going around mocking Christ when they should be defending Christ. They should be defending Christ, But I wanted to share that because a lot of people, they have a misinterpretation of what judgment is, and God's judgment is righteous, and that righteous judgment is something that you can only attribute to God. And if you are a righteous being, then you can uphold righteous judgment, and you would know righteous judgment. And that's something that people should take into consideration, especially when you know the teachings. Once you know the teachings and you choose not to apply the teachings, then there's no excuse. When judgment is cast upon you, when that judgment is attributed to your actions. So that's something that I just wanted to share with y'all because it needed to be shared. It needed to be shared. But it goes and you can just look around and see what the judgment is. We're already under judgment. The thing is to repent and ask for an appeal. You ask for an appeal after you repent from the sins or repent from that those actions. Then you appeal, and if you're actually changed, if you sincerely changed, then you will be granted clemency. This is how it works. This is how the courts work. You can seek appeal. You can start doing the right thing, and then get judged righteously, and you get judged according to your deeds and your actions. So yeah, that's just something that I felt like sharing. Something that I felt like sharing. Peace.